Magician's Penn and Teller file brief in junk science death row case by Stuart Vyse from the online column News and Comment at skepticalinquirer.org. World-famous magicians Penn and Teller have filed an amicus brief in support of the petition of Texas death row inmate Charles Don Flores to have his case heard by the United States Supreme Court, calling the evidence used to convict him junk science of the worst sort. Charles Flores was convicted of the 1998 murder of Betty Black based on the unreliable method investigative hypnosis. Days after the murder, the witness who ultimately identified Flores failed to pick him out in a photo array that contained his picture and helped create a composite sketch of the murderer that did not look at all like Flores. She claimed the murderer was thin with very long hair and was white, but Flores is Latino, and at the time of the murder, he had short hair and was overweight. It was only after the witness underwent investigative hypnosis that she accused Flores. Flores's co-defendant confessed to the murder, was sentenced to 35 years in jail, and was released on parole in 2016. No physical evidence tied Flores to the crime scene, and he has maintained his innocence, claiming he was at home cooking breakfast with his wife at the time of the murder. The New York Times produced a short video about the case in 2025. Psychologist Elizabeth Loftus and others have shown that eyewitness memories of past events are often wrong and can easily be manipulated. In the 1990s, there were several cases of false memories of satanic ritual abuse or childhood sexual abuse allegedly recovered under hypnosis, but many of those cases fell apart in court based on the unreliability of the recovered memories. Understanding this history, many states have prohibited the use of investigative hypnosis. Even Texas now bans the technique, but Flores was convicted before the law was changed and remains on death row. In their brief to the Supreme Court, Penn and Teller explained that their philosophical approach to both magic and skepticism draws heavily from the work of magician and truth crusader James Randi, and described themselves as honest liars. They argued that some of the same cognitive techniques they use on stage to trick audience members, memory and alter their perception, explain how the investigative hypnosis session induced the witness to abandon all previous descriptions of the suspect and instead point to Mr. Flores. In addition to Penn and Teller, an amicus brief in support of Flores was filed by the American Psychological Association, stating, "As extensive psychological research has made clear, eyewitness identifications are often not accurate, and mistaken eyewitness identification is a primary contributor to criminal convictions of the innocent." Thank you for listening to Skeptical Inquirer Audio Edition. This podcast is produced by the Center for Inquiry at our headquarters in Amherst, New York. If you would like to support our work, please consider subscribing to Skeptical Inquirer magazine at skepticalinquirer.org. It is listeners like you that make our work possible. With your support, we can continue to promote science, reason, and secular values throughout the world. Thank you.